Once, in a serene monastery nestled among misty mountains, there lived a devoted monk named Tenzin. He was beloved by all for his unwavering kindness and boundless willingness to help anyone in need. It was said that Tenzin never turned anyone away, always offering assistance no matter the burden or sacrifice. One day, an elderly villager arrived at the monastery, breathless and desperate. "Please, monk," he pleaded, "my son is gravely ill. Can you help me carry him to the healer in the next village? I cannot do it alone." Without hesitation, Tenzin agreed. He traveled to the villager's home and carried the sick boy on his back. The journey was long and arduous, and Tenzin's body ached under the weight, but he pressed on, knowing his efforts were easing another's suffering. Days turned into weeks, and more requests poured in. A farmer needed help mending his field. A mother sought food for her starving children. The villagers grew accustomed to relying on Tenzin for their troubles, and still, Tenzin said yes, time and time again. His heart swelled with compassion, but his body weakened, and his mind clouded with exhaustion. Morning meditations became difficult, and fatigue gnawed at him constantly. One fateful day, as Tenzin struggled to carry heavy sacks of grain for a merchant, he collapsed under their weight, too drained to rise. The head monk, observing Tenzin's plight, approached him with a calm yet knowing gaze. "Tenzin," he asked gently, "why have you fallen? You have been strong for many seasons. What has changed?" Tenzin, ashamed, replied, "I have been helping others, as you taught me. I wanted to bring them peace and relief." The head monk smiled, but shook his head. "You misunderstand the teachings, Tenzin. Helping others is noble, but when your own cup is empty, you cannot pour water for anyone else. By sacrificing yourself entirely for others, you are losing yourself." Tenzin frowned, confused. "But isn't it my duty to help those in need?" The head monk placed a reassuring hand on Tenzin's shoulder. "You must learn balance. When you neglect your own well-being, you do more harm than good. Selflessness should not lead to self-destruction. Helping others can ruin your life if you forget that you too deserve care." Tenzin sat in silence, reflecting on the monk's words. His intentions had been pure, but his lack of boundaries had left him depleted. The head monk continued, "True wisdom lies in knowing when to help and when to step back. You cannot save the world by breaking yourself apart. In Buddhism, we learn that attachment, even to helping others, can become a source of suffering. First, tend to your own garden before you help others plant theirs." Over time, Tenzin regained his strength and adopted a wiser approach. He continued to assist the villagers, but now with greater discernment. When he felt his energy waning, he learned to say no, understanding that preserving himself allowed him to give fully when it truly mattered. At first, the villagers were frustrated by his refusals, but they soon came to respect his boundaries. They saw that his renewed strength brought clarity and purpose to his actions, benefiting everyone in the long run. Tenzin had learned a vital lesson: helping others without caring for oneself leads to ruin. His newfound wisdom rippled through the valley, becoming a guiding principle for the entire community. No one could light the path for others if their own flame burned out. Balance, they realized, was key. Moral of the story: helping others is a noble pursuit, but unchecked, it can drain your spirit, leaving you empty and lost. Learn to balance your kindness with self-care, for only then can you give fully without sacrificing yourself. True compassion begins with tending to your own well-being so that you may serve others from a place of strength and abundance.